Good morning, students. We're going to be talking about plotting points in the coordinate plane. Some crucial information. You want to know what quadrants are. So quad, meaning four, tells us that there's going to be four areas. Quadrant is going to be an area. In the coordinate plane, the areas are divided by two lines. Our x-axis, which is horizontal, left to right, and our y-axis, which is up and down. Now, key ideas that I know most of us will intuitively get, but sometimes we struggle with, is that our quadrants are understood through positives and negatives. So what number is positive and what number is negative? So I'm going to transition, so we're looking at, sorry, one second. So we're going to be looking at, okay. So we're going to be looking at a coordinate plane, okay? So we're going to transition and look at the coordinate plane. I'm sorry if the background's a little bright. It's because it's pretty windy, so I want to make sure that we have this intact. Now, I want us to look at this, and so our horizontal line will be our x-axis. And what that means is this is the line that all values of y are 0. So this is only where there are values of x, okay? And this is when all x values are 0, okay? So this actually is where we write on because it gives us access or understanding to what's actually going on, okay? Now, this is going to be the positives, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And so on. It keeps going up. And so the negatives are likewise going to be on the left side of 0. So negative 1, 2, negative 3, negative 4, and negative 5. Now likewise, when you're going up and down, you're going to go up, it's going to be positive, and when you're going down, it's negative. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And likewise, when we're going down, it's going to be negative. So negative 2. Okay, so our points in this quadrant, this is quadrant 1, and we're going to go in counterclockwise. So quadrant 1, quadrant 2, and then quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So if it is any point in this area, it is in quadrant 2. Any point in this area is quadrant 1. Any point in this quadrant is quadrant 3. And any point in this quadrant is quadrant 4. Okay? Quadrant 1. So if we have a point here, let's choose something like this. It's better right here. Okay? This point, let's say 3, 3. If we were extrapolating, was our first number positive or negative? Well, our first number was positive. What about our second number? Our second number was positive. So this one, quadrant 1, is going to be all positive. Okay, let's look at this. Let's do negative 4, 2. So right here. That's negative 4, 2. And so is our first number, is our x, so this is x, this is y. Is our x value negative or positive? Well, it's negative. What about y? Our y is positive. So we can extrapolate that for quadrant 2, our x is always going to be negative and our y is going to be positive. Okay, what about quadrant 3? Well, let's choose a point, negative 2, 5, negative 5. So that's something here. Negative 2, negative 5. And so this, the first one was negative, and the second one was negative. Okay? Well, what about quadrant 4? Okay, so we go left. Let's go 1, negative 3. So first was 1, second is negative 3. And this would be, quadrant 4 would be positive and then negative. Okay, so these two are opposites. Notice that the order is switched. And these two are opposites. These both are positive, these both are negative. It's no coincidence, that's part of math. Okay, so when you're plotting a point, now most of you know this, so I won't go spend too long on this. When you're plotting a point, you always plot x and y. So the first number should be our x, the second should be our y, and it should always plot a point, a dot at where both of those ideas intersect. So let's look at the book. Okay, they give us a few examples of points, and we're going to look at them. Okay, so they give us a coordinate point. They give us the coordinates of A. Well, A, we start with x, so x is negative 3, and y is 4. So then our points are negative 3, 4. Likewise, point B is going to be positive 2, then negative 3. Okay, so positive 2, negative 3 would give us 2, negative 3. So you notice right there. Now, what quadrant is A in? Well, that would be not quadrant 1, but quadrant 2. So A is in quadrant 2, and it's on point, negative 3, 4. Okay, what about B? B is in quadrant 4, because 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is 2, negative 3, right there. Okay, you can look at the examples here. Remember, this line is going to give us x value equals 0. This line is going to give us y value 0. So this would be 0, 2, and this would be 3, 1. So then this one, I'll let you guys figure it out if you want. So plotting a point, describing its location. So first, plotting a point. You should be able to plot a point given its indication on a graph, okay? That will be something we'll do in class and on the homework. Second thing is you need to describe its location. So quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if it is on the line, this would be on the y-axis, okay? We will skip example 3 because we'll talk about it next class, okay? That'll actually be, the only thing I'll add is when we do time is going to be our x values, usually, and our y values are going to be whatever is affected by it. So they show us something in 1920, and then we have the ideas in 1920 being x equals 0, okay? So x equals 0 at 1920, and so this is 1924, it's 1916. Okay, they give us example. You have to graph the points, which makes sense, graphing the points, and then describing any trend. So do we notice any trend upwards? Yeah. The same thing with this, okay? We have a example, and then we have, do we have an increase of voting? Okay? We will talk about 9.2 next class. Thank you so much for coming. Today's class will be a rather shorter thing. We'll discuss some concepts that I think are important. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye.